What's going on, YouTube? It's Dave's Daily Trades, back again with another update on AMC. Now, I know it wasn't the day we were hoping for. We were down 6.86%, but not as bad as it sounds, because at one point in the day we were down close to 11%. Now, it is okay. And the reason being, well, I'm going to be breaking that down in today's video. We're also going to be going over the DOJ investigation in regards to short selling. We're going to be going over the FUD that's been spreading around throughout the community with Adam Aaron and the CFO selling some shares. Guys, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll also touch upon the inflation data and why I truly think we are in a great place moving forward. But without further ado, we're going to roll right into the intro and then hop into the technical analysis. And we're back. All right, folks. So like I said, down 6.86%. After hours slightly down, just about 8 cents in after hours, minus 0.22%. But again, it's after hours. Does not worry me at the least here. But looking at the TA today, yes, this morning we did have that significant-ish drop in AMC's price. And of course, guys, we're expecting a bounce at this higher level of the trading range, right around that 28.79 mark. Now, we have been discussing the Wyckoff accumulation schematic, and I do truly believe we are still in this schematic. We're absolutely in this accumulation phase, and things are okay. Now, as we were discussing earlier in the week, we did start to have this upward trend once we did have that spring at the 25.31. That was literally last Friday. We had that volatile move in the last hour of trading session. I know, right? Good times. This, to me, looked like the stair stepping out back into the trading region and moving towards that LPS phase. Now, it didn't go as planned, as we were shot back down to retest this region once again. Now, just taking a step back here, the composite man, as we call it, per the thesis of the Wyckoff accumulation / distribution schematic, he is looking for and testing the supply and demand at each level. And that's all that's happening. He's testing it out, trying to get people to sell. And really, the moral of his story is accumulating as many shares as possible. Now, I know you apes know everything that's going on, especially you OG apes who fought in 801, who have been here since January or even February. You guys are pretty much immune to this kind of price manipulation at this point. It doesn't matter. But for some of the newer apes out there, this can be tough. Absolutely. I mean, we all went through it at one phase or another. But guys, if you are an OG ape, leave some comments. Leave some reassurance for those newer apes seeing this 10%, 11% down day at one point, and let them know that it's going to be okay. Good things are around the corner. Now, back into this TA, why I actually really love this setup, well, was because of this consolidation at this range right around 26.30. Now, I know that's not perfect if we zoom out a little bit, but this was really great to see. We found comfort at this level, really tested out that supply and demand, and towards the end of the day, started a recovery move. That's great to see. Again, we did have a touch point on this level on 12.3. Of course, last Friday when we did see that spring. So this held up. This held up very nicely. And I think going into next week, well, if we look back at what happened last week, we did have that spring, that low come in at 25.31 and started the grind up. Now, I would love to see that play back into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, grind back up into this trading range and really start the next phases in what I think is going to be phase D. Now, just to show you guys what I'm thinking, and of course, guys, this isn't perfect. So this is the accumulation. Get out of here. Why can't I get that ad out of here? That's going to really make me upset. But anyways, per the schematic, we did have that test. But instead, what we're kind of getting here is a double bottom of this range over here. a little bit below our trading region. Now, I think the next couple of days, we should absolutely start these lower tests of the range and start moving up into this LPS phase. That's what I think next week is going to look like. But of course, guys, we're going to take it day by day, break it down for you folks, and update you as this progresses. Because as we know, things can change. Now, anyways, jumping out to the one-day chart, we're still healthy. Worst case scenario, we do come down and test this range over here, right around $24, $25, which I think highly unlikely. And this actually comes from the range from January, touchdown over here before that June run up. So we could see a little bit more pullback, i.e. maybe possibly the spring actually isn't in, although I do think it is. We'll find out more Monday based on how this plays out in the near term micro future here. But worst case scenario, we come down, touch this touch point, and then we're off to the races. And guys, I truly believe we are so close to seeing AMC absolutely explode. And I'm not talking about 5, 10% days. No, I'm talking about 20, 30, 40, 50% days in the near term future. This thing is a compressed spring waiting to explode to the upside. We are just about in phase D, and things are looking phenomenal, guys. Now, a couple other things going for us that I do want to talk about. A lot of BS floating around the community, which is, again, why I think we are close, because the amount of FUD, bots, and shills out there is just astonishing right now. But anyways, Adam Aaron sold some shares, along with the CFO. Okay, totally fine. It's not something that came out of the blue. We knew about this per the earnings call. Adam Aaron came out and said he's getting old. He's getting ready to retire. He's going to sell some shares. Obviously, I would do the same if I'm in a predicament. I don't know how old the guy is, given that. But he's getting ready to retire, guys. He's had a long career, and he is just dwindling down his shares. And of course, because of good earnings report, because of all the other initiatives that he is pushing throughout the company, he's absolutely going to be getting more shares as part of that initiative package to really reaccumulate. That's totally fine. The CFO, he's getting out. It is what it is. He sold about 625,000 shares for the company, around $25 million. Adam Aaron sold $9.65 million worth and 312,500 shares on Tuesday for an average price of $30.86. But moral of the story is, we knew this. We knew it was coming. It should not be a shock to anyone. But what's interesting is, I think, the timing of all of this. Now, what came out today? The DOJ. They're coming out and they're saying, well, we're going to launch a kind of look into short selling. We all know what goes on. We could literally kind of work for the DOJ. Maybe DOJ, if you're watching this, give me a job. Hook me up here. We know what's going on. We know there's abusive short selling going on. Malpractice. Absolute to the full extent. So, the interesting thing. It's all coming together. Adam Aaron and his counterparty selling some shares, possibly in preparation of what is coming. And I truly believe this right here, this isn't because they want to do it. This is more of I have to launch some type of investigation to really cover my ass, because for 11 months, I've had retail screaming at me, saying all this stuff is going on. Here's the evidence. Here's the DD. Here's whatever you need to really make a conviction on this story, and you've ignored it. I mean, imagine if this blows up, like it is going to, of course, and then they say, oh my God, we never saw this coming. Well, you have 4.2 million retail investors screaming at you for 11 freaking months about all of this. You have to do something. You got to put out some type of report saying, oh yeah, we're investigating it. It's all about timing. And I think Adam Aaron and the team, yeah, sure. Adam Aaron selling for retirement, totally buy that. It is what it is. But how sketchy would it be if this stock price goes to, let's say, and this is not a price target here, guys. I'm just throwing out a number, so settle down. Let's say the price goes to $10,000. Adam Aaron and what's this guy's name? Sean Goodman. Kind of a cool last name, actually. They sell their shares at $10,000 a piece. Well, that's fishy. That looks really bad. It looks like they know something. It looks like they did something. And sure, they would probably get some type of investigation, knowing how, there's ties with hedge funds, government officials, you name it. Regardless, it doesn't matter. So I think Adam Aaron, I think the CFO over here, Sean, they know what's coming. They know this is about to blow up. So they're selling their shares early before this really goes off to the races. They know the DOJ was about to step in because, guys, let's be honest. They know a lot more than we do. And they're just getting ready for what is coming. Now, another thing that I did want to note, because we did discuss this briefly yesterday, was the CPI data came out early this morning. I believe it was 8:30 this was released, sometime around that time frame. And if you don't know, Consumer Price Index pretty much just takes all of your consumer goods, puts them together and says, on average, are they increasing or are they decreasing? Well, of course, inflation causes them to increase. This is something you all should know. And I really thought it was going to affect the market a little bit more today. But surprisingly, didn't have too much effect. So CPI for all items rose 0.8%. And now we are up to 6.8% over the last 12 months. That's some crazy stuff, guys. We have not seen this type of inflation rise in the last, I think it was 32 or 38 years. That's insane. Things are not good. The economy is not good. We have already discussed Evergrande and the other Chinese firms that are defaulting left and right now. I mean, you guys want a catalyst? Well, we got plenty of freaking catalyst. And also, just to jump back to this right here with Adam Aaron and the CFO selling shares, what does that remind you of? I'll give you 2 seconds to think about it. If you said Wanda Group, I love you. Literally love you. Because remember back in, let's jump back to the charts. I think it was middle of May 16th, 17th, around this time frame. Over here, we're coming up against resistance. Wanda kept on freaking dumping their shares, driving the price down, and it was the most frustrating thing because we're we know we're ready to break out. What happened? Wanda dumped their last of the shares, came down to the low, kind of where we're at right now. And I'm not comparing the charts. I know there is some differences between the two. And look at, once Wanda kind of sold off their shares, they're out. Week and a half, 2 weeks later, call it. Bam! $72. From a low over here of $8.85. So this is all just too similar. I think everyone is getting prepared for what's about to happen. So guys, let's just sit back and wait for this stuff. Ignore daily price action of 10, 11%. It doesn't matter. It literally should not even face us at this point. Even if they drop this price, and I know some of you have been asking, is there a price where you would sell at? $0. And when my account gets absolutely liquidated, and I don't even know how it works at that point, I have so much conviction for this stock where it doesn't matter. They can push it back down to this $5, $6, $7 range. I could give two shits. Even push it down to $191. Compare it to the Volkswagen squeeze. I don't care. I'm not selling. I'm not going anywhere. My conviction is higher than it literally has ever been. So guys, I think we're in a great place. Let me know what y'all think. Last thing I do want to cover was a interesting or text update here. So what I'm seeing is days to cover. Look at this. Days to cover right here in this lime green-ish color. It has been on a tear. If we look back, well, even in June, we were at this level over here. So we're above those early May, call it June-ish levels. We're above that. Now what we're looking at, look at this over here. We're almost back to the pre-January levels. And days to cover, currently 2.28. 7 days ago, 1.93. That's a percent change of 18.33%, folks. Days to cover is rising up, which means getting in a short position is a very risky thing to do because on average, it's going to take you 2.28 days to actually cover your short position. Now, that is not good because we know the volatility of AMC. We know how fast this thing can just run, just like that. So if you don't want to be trapped in a short position, I know some of these hedges, they're trapped. There's no way getting out. The only way getting out is actually being liquidated. But some of these other smaller hedge funds, they absolutely have a chance to start covering and getting out of their positions. So let's see what happens. But guys, regardless, I want to end it on this note. This price action today, what we saw, it doesn't matter. What we've seen the last 2 weeks, it doesn't matter. All they're trying to do is shake out the paper hands, accumulate shares before they run this thing to the freaking moon. That's all it is. All right, guys, that's all that I have for today. I know I'm freaking starving. I'm going to go grab some Chipotle down the street because that's what we do on Fridays here. Anyways, hope you all have a great weekend. I'll probably be posting some more updates. But until then, peace out and take it easy, folks.